the cheapest.
For sure.
Not the cheapest, but
Hey, whatever gets
We're
the
just
job
like
done.
not
You guys
really
are, like,
media
one-
guys though, right? Like we're I don't know how to explain us. We're a rare.
it depends on
A
when
rare
you get
breed.
into the game. You know,
Yeah, we need. You know what we need? We need a Jameson on the SANDCAST team. Just fresh out of college, just ready to go.
No,
Problem
you-
is we can't teach him anything. Like you guys could bring him in and teach him.
It's fair.
We're gonna be like, hey, can you help us?
no, he's gonna
With
teach
what?
you guys.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna be like, with what? I don't know. Just
Yeah.
make us better.
Just try to do whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't brought that up.
Yeah. Do you want to?
No,
Can we
we're
sample
not-
him? Oh, damn it. We're gonna poach James. Riley's gonna come back from Austin and just be
Yeah,
all.
how can we improve this?
What?
Like,
Like, oh,
yeah, I
We
mean,
loaned
can-
Jameson
we can
out for,
negotiate that. I'm actually his agent, so
Right. So
Yep.
so you guys got to get a
you,
cut
You have to talk
of
no,
the
no, no,
of the
no.
very low budget.
I just negotiate on behalf of him.
That's fair. That's
yeah.
fair. Well, welcome to the Winecast.
Yeah.
I haven't had an evening Winecast in a while.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Your first time on the show,
It's
Jameson.
my first time.
People,
This is what your 23rd podcast.
he's been behind the scenes of more shows, I think, than you've been behind the scenes on a few, right? Or just SANDCAST late night get-togethers.
SANDCAST late night's been a part of a few of them.
Jameson's a regular on the late night.
Yeah,
SANDCAST,
just not on camera.
Right. We don't record those episodes.
No.
Yeah, I heard he made like a food order one night.
Oh yeah, you did. It was the night that Trevor won Manhattan.
Oh,
This year.
God.
We all eventually. That's how you know like Trevor's getting older. Like every year that he's won Manhattan, the party's gotten like more dull and more dull.
Well, he ended up here.
This time, yeah, no, at like by like 9 p.m. he's like, bro, studio party. I was like, yeah, perfect. I'm like 20 yards away from my bed. And then Trevor was on his high horse. Jameson, order food for us on my credit card. Money's no object. Just like talking shit.
Yeah.
Money's nothing for me. Just feeling himself after winning Manhattan again. So Jameson went ahead and ordered like what? How much did you?
Okay.
Okay, what was no just okay? What was the place you ordered from?
This is great though. Actually.
What place did you order from?
Also,
Jack
wait.
in the Box.
Who is here? Who is here?
Okay.
Do you remember?
It was me, Danny Alvarez, Trevor, Veronica, Sean Rosenthal, and a few other people.
Right. That's fair.
It was like a solid like 8 people.
So his partner was in there.
Theo was not there,
Theo
no.
was not there.
He was partying at his ex-partner's
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
That actually sums mine and Trevor's relationship up well. So
Yeah,
many
pretty
people
much.
ask me especially on, because I'm just mingling with fans this year, the inaugural league, and everyone's just, are you guys friends? Like, how are you and Trevor? It's like, hung out with him last night. We're friends. I think I hate him still, but
Dude,
we still hang out all the time.
One thing we have to come back to is us never interviewing you for Media Day for the past 2
Yeah,
years.
seriously.
So that's one thing we need
I
to
love
get
giving you
back
guys
to.
shit for that.
But going back to the story, Jameson, what was the place you ordered from?
Well, it
was
wasn't
Jack in the Box?
it wasn't decided yet, but the reason I was looking at food options
No,
and
let
I
it
was
go.
looking
Let
at
him
food
go.
options, and Jack in the Box had a deal. It was buy one get one free
On everything.
on like a few. There was like a few options for sure. There was like chicken tenders and like burgers.
And we're all just yelling at him, just order, bro. We don't care.
Trevor's
what you
like
get.
giving me so much
Money's no object.
so much crap, and I'm like, okay, I ordered with the intent that they weren't gonna. They were like, oh, this is a lot of food. We're
By
not
the
gonna
way,
go-
Trevor will only say money's no object, but he's like, but you have to order from Jack in the Box.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheap ass.
So we ordered it. I ordered like maybe $100 worth of food, but when it came in,
So you basically ordered enough food that would cover everyone, not thinking that the 2-for-1 deal
I
was
ordered
gonna
for
come in.
enough for 8 people.
Right.
What came in was pretty much like 16 portions, so double the amount of food, and it filled up
and
the whole
it was
table.
like to fill each person up, and like half the people weren't planning on eating at all.
No.
Like people had just dipped in.
No.
So we had a giant table full of food, chicken tenders,
What did it come in?
burgers, fries.
Did
It
come
came in
like a hockey
in,
bag?
like, 20
it came
bags.
in. It came in like, you know, those big, like when you order like a lot of pizza, it comes in like those big things that are insulated, like a cooler, like 2 big coolers.
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous. And Trevor's like face just dropped, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "Dude, what do you want me to do? You're literally yelling at me as I'm trying to figure out how to order this food." This is your fault, if anything.
It was definitely Trevor's fault. I was actually very happy. I was like, suck it, Trevor. We're gonna waste all this food.
Oh my god.
What was the first reaction when he walked through?
I was hungry. I was one of the hungry ones, so I was cool with it.
Like, was it just did it just keep coming in?
Oh my god. No, it's like, oh my god, Jameson.
Yeah. Like,
and
Rosie
then
was there.
And then he's like, guys, this isn't all of it. We're like, what?
Oh, it was
and then he
Veronica.
goes back out.
Veronica went back out,
Wait,
and she's like, yeah, there's another one. I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. It was an absurd amount of food.
Yeah, we ate way too much. Trevor
took it
passed
home.
on the ground.
I took whatever was left over home with me and tried to make do with what I had left.
That's very considerate of you.
I tried to
And then
make it work.
Rosie was like, I don't know why, but he was like, yeah, I'm down. I'll take leftovers.
That's right.
So, and it's been a long night, right? Already. I don't know how late it was. But he goes and takes as much food as he can hold, including drinks, and takes off, goes home like, okay, wow, Rosie, whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to eat that tomorrow. And then I go to practice in the morning or wherever. I don't know why. I was walking to the beach, and I just see a trail of Jack in the Box down the hill. There's a drink. There's a bag. There's he like couldn't, either he dropped it or he couldn't carry. He just started.
He crushed them all on his way home.
Like a full on jumbo. All the drinks were jumbo. Anyway,
I think it was carrying.
that was pretty good.
That was funny actually.
SANDCAST late nights are unfilmable. Although I did record that night. It's on my computer, and we're not allowed to release that one. We've had a few of those.
There's a few.
There's been a few of those, yeah, for sure. Good times though.
Yeah.
But welcome to the
thanks
podcast,
for having me.
Jameson. The third McKibbin brother. He does exist.
Finally here.
How much younger than Madison?
I'm 9 years younger than Madison.
And then Riley's 3 years older? 2 years. 2 years older.
So
I knew that.
So that would be...
I don't know, man. Oh, 9 plus 2. 11.
Hey. Got it.
Cheers.
Cheers to that math. I think even my daughter could do that one. Yeah, funny. It's funny. It must have been funny the whole journey of just like being these guys' younger brother. When they went to obviously high school, but like they went to college, and then for some reason your parents were cool with just like dropping you off at college, and I was Riley's roommate the whole time, so I just kind of saw this. How was your experience just being the younger brother of these guys?
Yeah. Well, any single time I wanted to go and see them, all I wanted to do, I didn't even want to hang out with my parents. All I wanted to do was hang out with either Riley or Madison.
Right.
And it was funny because, like, now that I actually went to college, I was like, God, I had to be, like, a little bit of a burden. Like, I would go hang out with them on, like, Saturday nights or Friday nights, for that matter, and be like, hey, can we just stay in? Maybe, I don't know, play some video games, play Call of Duty or something. And it's a Friday night, and you're hanging out with your, I don't know, 9 or 10-year-old brother. Which is all you want to do. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's crazy to think about it now.
Seriously.
Yeah.
When I think back on it, I'm like, wait, what?
I know.
Like, how is there a 9-year-old hanging out with us in college?
Yeah.
And we felt like it was kind of normal.
Yeah. I just remember them being able to like shuffle, and we would play like just bangers during serve and pass. Like Avicii, Calvin Harris. We were just actually talking about this the other day. Like we grew up in like the best music era.
Right.
For raging.
Yeah.
And like he was able to like shuffle when he was super young.
Yeah.
I remember, and for the head coach at SC, Fergie, like had you like commit 10 times over. It was like, Jameson's committed. I'm like, he's 9, but okay, whatever. And then sure enough, here we go.
Lo and behold, go to SC.
9 years later.
Yeah.
SC train.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then graduate and straight into
I remember
work.
Yeah, like a couple days after I graduated, I called Riley and I was like, hey, if you guys are willing to take me, I'd love to just, I don't care what you make me do. Just, I want to learn. I want to be a part of it. And boy, did I.
What was your first tournament?
First tournament was, it couldn't have been New Orleans with you. No. Oh, I remember it was New Orleans when we were still working with Beach Volleyball World, and we had to.
Yeah.
And we had to.
That was your first. That was your first experience.
My first experience. Didn't really know how to use a camera at all. Didn't know anything about editing.
That's when the New Orleans event
rained out.
No,
I don't know if you were there, but we were at like this. It's when Casey and Phil played together.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
Were
they
you
made
there?
the final, right?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
No. We're good.
Something wrong with the audio?
No. I'm just checking them.
Okay.
No. But
I have to check a lot because I've done that before. Just lose episodes. Bro, guys,
Dude,
sorry, I forgot to hit record.
Oh.
That's happened.
No, we're good.
Oh, dude, his first AVP event was good.
Yeah, we were working with Beach Volleyball World. We had to do some content for them. The international tournament that was going on at the same time as New Orleans, and kind of just got thrown into it. Like it was kind of like, Jameson, you have pretty much no value, so we're just gonna have you do whatever, anything and any.
Only your brothers can tell you that.
That's true, but it's tough
you
love.
have no value.
That's why we were scared about putting him onto the.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
But
dude,
the best way.
The situation was like, at the time, like the AVP, like something went on where like the hotel was like, not great.
Something's always gone wrong with New Orleans. No offense to New Orleans.
It's always
love the fan base, but
and so like it was like Riley, Jameson, Frito, and I, like we were all there. Jameson ended up sleeping on like a cot that Josh had.
Of course.
And like James ended up getting sandwiched inside the cot on the second night.
When I first set it up.
They folded you?
First night I slept on the
He
floor.
slept on the ground.
Right.
Because we didn't know what to expect. And at the time, we were doing actually similar to what Travis and Kyle are doing. Like actually not to the scale and what they're actually doing, but we had done a deal with Beach Volleyball World where we would do like day previews.
Right, yeah.
Remember in Rosarito?
Yeah.
That was that same
right.
year.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you and Trevor like gave me
that's
poo-poo
true. I remember that.
trying to
Photobombed you nicely.
Yeah. Dude, that was hell and high water.
That's right.
Dude. And so like we like kept doing that, and like it was just like these things. Like we ended up filming on the outside courts of the event. Like Jameson, you were like holding a reflector. Then we made him take his shirt off because the reflector was too bright. We had like a teleprompter.
So your body was the perfect
dude,
brightness.
There's a picture.
There's a picture out there of me with no shirt on holding a reflector and Maddison talking to a camera, and my shirt's right below the camera because the sound was so bright that you couldn't read the words off the teleprompter. So they're like, Jameson, take off your shirt, put it on the ground so that we can see what the words are, and hold the reflector for Maddison so there's good lighting.
I love that.
That was probably one of the most crazy, like, we were doing shoulder content for Beach Volleyball World, for Ostrava and Yermala, or one of them.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And so we would do the research in the morning, come up with a script, then film it on site, and then film the AVP event. I remember one of the times we filmed, or that same event, we filmed one of them in like a field, like, and there's a bunch of cicadas in the background. And we said at Volleyball World, they're like,
audio is great.
They're like, what's that in the background? We're like, it's a bunch of bugs. Sorry, we're New Orleans. Like you wanted this, bro.
Right.
I remember. I actually do remember it was Ostrava, and we chose that one because in the background there's like the industrial kind of. It looks very kind of similar to like the backdrop of or the setting of what Ostrava was. We're like, this is a great idea. Right. This is so awesome. So dumb.
That was ridiculous.
So you got a quick learning curve.
Yeah.
To get up to speed with these guys.
Yeah.
And now what? You're 3 years in?
No, it's like 2.5 years in. Yeah.
Yep.
So
where are we at now?
Primarily.
Not useless.
Definitely have upgraded to having a little bit more value.
Right.
But I do a lot of editing and video for them, so it's kind of nice.
No, he's definitely gotten to a point where if he were to leave, like it'd be tough.
Right. So my recruiting efforts aren't gonna work.
I mean, he has some free time. You just got to negotiate.
Right.
True.
Jack in the Box. We got hot sauce, stickers.
I guess he still owes you for Jack in the Box.
Not you.
That was on Trevor.
That was on Trevor. I don't think I really owe him though on that.
No, that was proper.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no one owes Trevor.
He deserved that. What have you learned? Like, what's kind of the biggest takeaways in terms of like, because you kind of have a fresh perspective, and I like talking to younger people who haven't like, especially when it comes to volleyball and being on tour, we get like kind of jaded this like narrow perspective. But when you come in at fresh perspective, I feel like the young people have a nice outlook on it all. Yeah,
I mean, given that it's kind of not even like my third year and we're already doing the AVP League, especially with beach volleyball, it's been pretty eye-opening, especially from an entertainment perspective.
Is it what you thought it would be?
No, it wasn't. It was, I didn't really know what to expect with the shorter sets and, the guys and girls teams being put together. but it was kind of everything I hoped for. Like, for example, one of my favorite events to watch is the Ryder Cup.
Right. Yeah.
And, golf is a very individual sport. And you can kind of compare that to beach volleyball. Beach volleyball is kind of an individual sport, but not really.
Right.
It is.
But when you pair up,
yeah.
when you pair up like a men's team with a women's team, it's kind of similar to playing indoor volleyball. Like, it feels so much better to win for yourself as well, but win for someone else.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool that you kind of get a little bit of a feeling of that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. No, I've actually been like, after watching the league and like actually going, I knew it would be beneficial, although like I really did not want to do what I did this year. It was just sounded like torture when I first didn't qualify. I knew there'd be benefits just going and being able to stand back, because when you're playing, you're just so focused. And I just feel like that team atmosphere, there's something to it. It brought me back to my indoor days a little bit. And like, I forgot how much beach makes you feel like you're on an island, especially like right now where it's like really hard to get a coach, or like, it's like hard to get any help, really. You're not building a team around you. It's like, we're out here alone. Like, let's figure it out. But as they build that, even if I had a girls team, like a lot of those girls, I would want to pick their brains. Like on each team, I could probably pick a player where I'd be like, hey, what do you think about this? Since you're on my team, like you have a good float serve, or you have a good this or that, or now I can get help, or I can go use their coach. A lot of the teams use the other team's coach, right?
Yeah.
I thought there would be more of that. But then in retrospect, a lot of teams don't have coaches.
You know what was great? That Danny Alvarez was coaching April and Alex in their final.
Okay,
AKA Billy Diggs.
Does the SANDCAST audience know Danny Alvarez?
He was on the pod.
Okay.
I did it at Outrigger in the boardroom, but then I messed up the audio, so I did it on like an iPhone recording and a GoPro camera. So it wasn't my best.
Okay, I'm gonna give like
quality,
a quick 30-second who Danny Alvarez is.
Yes, AKA Belly Diggs.
Belly Diggs, Danny Alvarez. So he was the guy that played like nooners when we were like growing up.
He's one of
he was
the
known
OGs.
for this thing.
Just put the belly out and scoop
but
it.
Like when it comes to four-man, like he was one of the best setters.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a great setter, but he is one of the best setters. And he's a good vibes guy.
Very, very good vibes guy.
Beach. His beach, but like he was like the older guy to all of us younger guys. I played in one tournament with him, which was so much fun. But he's always like the fun guy, and like he runs like the Daddy Hane four-man, picks a team. So he was like the adult when we were kids.
Great dialogue.
Yeah.
So that's Danny Alvarez. And then what is his position currently, and what happened with April and Alex?
He wanted to just try the world tour out. I think he realized, like, him and Trev are close too, and I think Trev's been asking him over the years, and he's finally like, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'll come help you guys out. So he traveled with Trev and Theo to a bunch of tournaments around the world, and he just did this season with them. But then they get partnered with April and Alex. April and Alex don't have like a real full-time coach. They had Kyle fill in some, who's just getting into coaching, and Danny knows the game really well. So yeah, he ended up on they needed someone to help warm up, and then he's like, if you want, I can like sit in the box, but like he's like, you guys are like the gold medal, you're on your way out.
Wasn't there one situation where he said something, and they were like,
I don't know, you tell me.
They were like, who the fuck is this guy?
Probably. I don't know.
And then I think there was another time where
it was the same game
where he said something.
Yeah, because he's in Hawaii all the time, so people don't know him.
April or Alex said that
he helped them.
That it helped them.
Right. Oh, got you. So they just like, oh, he actually does know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then you come down to like the championships and the finals, and then Alex and April are retiring their last match ever, and it's like, Danny's in the box with them right now. Like, I never would have thought this.
So yeah, I think earlier on in the season, like he had said something.
Yeah.
Like, how anyone would react to a new coach.
Right,
Someone who's like, who is this guy?
Right, especially someone who's never around. Like he's in Hawaii all the time.
And so I think, it was. And then as the season evolved, and Danny knows to know how to navigate these things.
Yeah.
I think he said something similar to what irritated them, and it's like that actually helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
Huh.
I was like, oh,
interesting.
Yeah, can't believe he was the coach for them. I was like, okay.
Oh, I mean,
they wanted it.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, like full circle. You just never would have thought.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about the finals, like when it comes to the golden set,
yeah.
What did you think on those decisions?
I don't know how I feel yet about it, and I'm glad I was there to watch. I don't hate it. Like, it's just like you want to hate it right when you hear it because it's so different. I think that's the biggest thing with our sport is like people don't like change.
Actually, that's like the most common thing in our sport.
Right. Yeah. We have a lot of haters in our sport, for sure.
If you change one thing, I don't even care what you told me.
Exactly. Well, because these people play. A lot of the people play the sport. A lot of our fans play, right? So then they're like, oh, like.
Yeah, but
if it's someone like who has really good hands, they're like, oh, you changed the rules. Now it's like my favorite thing. Like now anyone can set.
Are you really changing the rules when it's a guys and a girls team?
No, I mean,
and both compete on the same team.
This is a completely different
tiebreaker. Yeah. So we're not really changing any rules.
No, it's just so different. And then I saw how it played out, which I'd want to go into as well because I really don't know how I feel about how it played out. First of all, I think AVP is on the right path, and the decisions that they have. There's like no right answer ever. Like they just have to keep kind of like figuring it out as they go.
I think the wrong answer would have been like, it comes down to points.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Or we flip for it.
I'm totally cool with how it went down.
I didn't realize like how quickly the first team to 8 points went.
Yeah,
I was like,
oh yeah, it was over quick.
Goodness, that's
my thing. Is like I can't get over, and this is like part of me maybe maturing. But if I put myself in Andy and Miles' shoes, and I talked to Partain the other day, and he was not rattled by it at all. He's just like, yeah, we knew what it was, and but all happy about it. It was like, if I won every match throughout an entire season, got into a final, smashed the team, and then got into a golden set and still won and lost, I would be like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. Why am I training so hard?
It's a good point.
If I play flawlessly.
But I think that's also from your perspective, who is like, you play one tournament at a time. Like,
no, I'm just saying I have to change. Like, look at
finals.
Miles has already accepted it. He's good with it. Like, but like old me is just like, oh, bro, what? No way I don't win this season. Like, because I'm used to the old school stuff, and it's just different. But all I really care about is entertainment value. Like, I want this tour to pop off at this point. But I just want to acknowledge and like say like Andy and Miles won everything this year. They dominated.
I haven't seen them play so well.
And they'd lost.
Yeah.
They didn't win. That's
loss.
like the new right,
loss.
But like as we accept that and as we go into seasons thinking that, it kind of makes it interesting of like, wow, these pairings is everything. And as the system gets the league gets more tightened up and they kind of tweak everything. Like we all know it was a pilot year. Like at least that's what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Where they're just trying to figure it out and like tweak it. I actually like it. I like the league and I like the golden set. I was like on the edge of my seat, like I can't miss a point. Well, that's kind of the point.
Yeah,
right?
I was so bummed that there was no golden set on Saturday.
The first day, yeah, exactly.
Because I wanted to see how this was going to play out, like the strategy behind it.
Also, the fact that, and now we know, like, okay, we know that just because someone has the best men's team or women's team doesn't mean they're going to win the league.
Yeah.
Just because what was boring, no offense to the GOATs, but like when Carrie and April just dominated everyone, won 8 tournaments in a row. Phil and Todd, 8 tournaments. It was like, let's go watch them beat people up. But like, it's not like, there's no like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? You know, it was just like, yeah, we know what's going to happen.
Were you in Dallas?
I was in Dallas, both Texas.
That's, I mean, the whole idea of not knowing what's going to happen. Like, I remember on Sunday.
Jason, now you can have, when there's a team all the way back, we've established it the first season, doesn't matter. They can be in last as long as they have a shot. They just jump in, they just squeak into the playoffs. Now they can win the whole league. So you have every fan base knowing that now. And we're like kind of figuring things out and the stories are kind of like building. And I think it's going to be really good in the future.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of interesting. And I don't think I'm giving anything away because the interview with Chase and Gina.
Yeah.
But we had Chase and Gina come in.
Yeah, we need to have them on.
After the and I don't want to take anything away from Gina and them. well, like if they were going to come on the podcast. But Gina told us that they actually, after the first week, they all sat down for breakfast and like kind of had this like just kind of like, Gina's like, hey, there's a lot of pressure on us because, and possibly on you guys, but a lot of pressure on us because we're not only playing for ourselves, but like we feel the pressure of letting you guys down. And even Chase brought it up, and they just put it all out there and got like that out in the open so that you could talk about it and not have that added pressure. I think there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes between these teams, or didn't happen behind the scenes between these teams, that I think had a lot to do with how well they did. I mean, if you look at Gina Urango, I mean, I love her, but like her career has gone up and down, and I don't think anyone's had more highs and more lows. Right. Like, and she had a phenomenal year. Like she told me, she's like, I'm not good in like the arenas. Like I'm used to the wind. But it made her but like, she's also run to the pins.
A good indoor player.
No, she's a great indoor player. But she told her, she's like, I play the wind. There's no wind in these arenas. She's like, so I'm having to like run to the pin quick. And then Tony from the service line, like
Chase and Miles sped up their offense as well.
I mean, it was like just they sped up their offense.
I think there's I personally would say if I could go back and take away those little moments, the team meetings and them creating that chemistry together, that they might not be champions. Like
for sure.
I'd be willing to maybe bet on that because they only won by that much.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about, and more so like me being from the outside and being in Austin, and that was like the first eye opening when I saw Austin and the crowd. When I hear Austin Ace, I was like, I've never heard a crowd cheer for one team. Yeah, I've heard them cheer. I've heard them dance and do stupid ass monster block.
That I've said is like I didn't think that like regional fandom was gonna be a thing this year, and I don't think ownership like expected that. But to hear the Austin Aces cheering for Billy Allen and
it was
Paul
fun. I was having fun.
We were jacked up.
Yeah,
that arguably might have been the best game of the whole.
Yeah, that was
the whole
sick.
league.
Yeah, that was
Billy
sick.
Allen, Paul Allen versus Phil and Avery.
Yeah,
like that was so electric.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Because it was the home crowd and it went
to
the distance.
And it's funny. There's like a lot of different. I mean, I don't mean to take this in a different direction, but there's a lot of different aspects to a sporting event or a beach volleyball event that like you don't think about that adds to the entertainment value or the how exciting it is, like whether it's the ambiance, music, camera angle, like whatever. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, but I thought the players did a pretty phenomenal job.
They did
overall.
And they were being told like as it was going, like, hey, here's what we're gonna do. Here's like the golden set was invented right before the last event. During the last event, I think they're like, here's how it's gonna go once we're in the playoffs. Yeah. Not to throw AVP under the bus, but like
I don't know when it was decided. But yeah,
it was they told the players after during the last event, I think.
During Dallas. Okay.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it didn't matter, right? Like, everyone was in the same boat. It wasn't like throwing it on someone. But when I was watching in Austin, I was like, when I get on my team, I'm investing in these people. I'm gonna go meet. Like, I'm not only gonna get my team together, like whoever my girls are. Hey, breakfast. Like, let's work together here. Like, I want watch us, whatever, like give us advice. We can train together. I've always wanted to train with girls. Ball control, serving, that kind of or passing, serve, receive. Anyway, but going out and building that fan base and getting that face-to-face interaction, which we're learning. Me and Travis started the SANDCAST tour, right? And there's so much value in that face-to-face interaction. And if you want these fan base, all you have to do is have one good conversation with these people, and they might be your fan for life. And they're going to bring their friends. And like, it really can start with just one little conversation, or you going and doing a little clinic before, or whatever it might be. And I know AVP, like, it was just such a quick year, and I think they're on board with helping players do that. But when I get on a team, I want to like fully like be for that city. And
I think
let's all jump together. And when I go out there on the court, I'm going to need you guys to like make some noise. Let's do it together. I'll acknowledge you. you acknowledge me, and let's go win this thing.
Yeah.
No, I feel like
that's never something I've ever had on the table, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, when you play indoor, it's like, when you can celebrate with your bench. I don't know. That might not have been something.
No,
for you guys,
100%.
but like
your bench goes crazy.
You want to celebrate with your team that's on the court, obviously, but it's like, I don't know. There's been a few instances where it's like you celebrate with your bench and your players. It's like and with your whole team, it's like there's something like almost like, I don't know. There's something special about that.
Exactly.
And like
I missed that a little bit.
Perfect example is like, Tony was like the biggest cheerleader for Chase and Miles.
Right.
During all the events.
It's true.
Like she would go, she didn't even care. She was going crazy.
Yeah.
But in the best way possible.
Yeah.
And like, Miles might make a mistake or something, and Tony's like firing him up, and he just laughs it off. It's like
and Chase isn't like laughing it off like picking you up, right? Like that's just not his persona.
Yeah,
so like have Tony doing that for Miles might have felt great.
Yeah, and like when he gets a block or he gets killed and Tony's like screaming, he's laughing and he's loving it, and it's like you can see the team camaraderie kind of like coming together finally.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
It's cool.
Yeah. Everyone, yeah.
You know what else happened in Austin? First ever SANDCAST tattoo.
Oh.
I'm not trying to like rub it in McKibbin Bros' face.
Wait,
that we have
SANDCAST tattoo?
No, our fans.
Why would you do that?
You can't see. All right, should I unveil it right now? No. Got someone tattooed.
He was a fan for how long of the SANDCAST?
He barely. I don't think
years,
he
for
barely.
years.
Yeah, for years.
For years.
I was so stoked on that one.
Yeah, that was crazy. I saw that. I was like,
I definitely made the most of my time on tour.
So you went to a clinic in Austin.
I did a clinic,
and the guy was a huge fan
afterwards
of
we're just grinding barbecue.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm sitting with him, and he was like grateful, like stoked that I was helping him, and we were all there and whatever. And then we're talking about his tattoos, and he's like, yeah. Like I was like, oh, what if I put my tattoo on you or whatever? Joking. He's like, yeah, I would do it. Like, you wouldn't do it. Come on, like right now you would do it. And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'll pay for it if you do it. Don't say this. And he's like, let's go. I was like, all right, just the microphone. I don't want to like put my whole logo on you. He's like, why? I was like, okay, let's go. Man. Freaking straight to didn't even pass it by Trav, just straight SANDCAST credit card. I mean, why would I?
Yeah.
But
like, how'd you get the logo? Like, did you just like?
I had a photo of it because I just did a rebranding. Which thank you for bringing up the rebrand. For those of you watching on YouTube, got my sweatshirt here. Yeah, I had just done the rebrand. So I had the logos. I just screenshotted it, and then we went in, and the guy put it in his computer, printed it, and then he kind of like temporary tattoos it on, and then.
Did you get to choose where?
Yeah, I was like, okay, you choose. I don't know. This is your body, and he's just like, what do you want? I was like, well, I wear a sponsor tattoo here, but I don't know if I would get it there. And he's like, let's do it. I was like, okay. So he wears it exactly where I'm gonna wear it when I'm playing.
Wow.
On the arm. He has a sponsor tattoo. Like right there? Delt bicep, right on the tri.
Wow.
Right on the tri.
Tri-bi.
Wow.
And that was sweet. And then in Dallas, I met a girl who said she wanted to get one. And I gave her just the microphone, which I don't know if I have one here for you, but you guys can see it. It's just the microphone, which I think is actually a decent tattoo, especially for a volleyball fan. She got the art, and she said she kind of was like, maybe. So now, if two SANDCAST tattoos come out of this league, like, this is a win for me.
That's crazy.
I mean, you have a merchandise line, and now you have a tattoo
line.
Tattoo line.
Yes, exactly.
Who would have expected?
Yep. And I just printed temporary tattoos. I actually have stickers right here. Since we're bringing it up, I just happen to have them sitting here for samples. Samples. I haven't. These aren't available to the public yet, but I gotta pass it by Trav. Trav left, so I'm just going wild over here.
Gotcha.
That's why.
That's like more of a bumper sticker.
Oh,
like I said, they're samples.
That's cool. That's cool.
Just samples, guys.
I like them.
Anyway.
Wait, so where can we, if we want to buy it?
Oh yeah, you can get the merch now. The website is, and we'll plug it all over social eventually, but madeinvsa.com/SANDCAST. So it's madeinusa.com, but it's a V instead of a U, SA.
Gotcha.
But we got some merch now, like towels and blankets and shirts and sweatshirts.
I was checking them out.
Anyway.
They actually look pretty cool. I like them.
Anyway, we're stoked about that.
Sweet.
But yeah, Leagueless.
Can we take a quick
success. Break? Yeah, Shishi break?
Shishi break?
Quick one.
Okay.
I'm just going to let it ride.
Okay.
Sorry.
Actually, me and Jameson will keep talking, you know?
Yeah.
If I cut it, we don't need to cut it.
No.
We'll just listen to Maddison Shishi.
Well, yeah.
Most people don't know what Shishi means.
Nope. Yeah, seriously.
Maybe 1/10 of the listeners know what Shishi means. We're not going to tell you, but you probably already know.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's the same. You could probably assume. But yeah, I mean, this year has been. It's funny. We talk about the league and everything. It's like this is definitely the first season where, it's felt like two seasons.
Right, for sure.
Completely packed into one, and I feel like I think a few of the stuff that happened during the season like went a little overseen. Like, having we didn't talk about this that much, but like this was a bold statement, but like my team going into the league, like who I was like, oh, this is the underdog team. Mm-hmm. I think it was going to be like Sean Cook,
right,
and Teresa Megan.
Yeah, because the girls have been playing hot.
The girls
and the boys were kind of on up.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And I was like, I think just by their personalities, like they're gonna do the whole team camaraderie. They're gonna kind of get it early.
What did you think about their team? Whatever it was, celebration.
I don't know whose idea that was. It's
it
creative.
Was definitely Cody Caldwell's idea.
Yeah. I mean, that's easy. That's easy pickings there.
Yeah.
With that name, but I mean, from the beginning of like what was it, UCLA?
Yeah.
Like they show up with their outfits. Their walk-ins. Sean showed up with his suit. Therese was showed up with her dress. Megan shows up with her USC outfit at UCLA. Like it was all statements like, hey, we're here we're here. Mm-hmm. And, it was unfortunate that, they did how they did, but I still really liked that team a lot. And
it kind of shows you it's hard to bet on this league too, because we have talked about it plenty on the podcast. Well, Taylor's and Sarah and Kelly are gonna they were the New York Nitro.
Yeah.
They're gonna smash the whole year, and then they were smashing.
Yeah.
But they ended up 4th. Yeah. So now we're watching the next season or two, and we're like, it doesn't matter who is first going into the playoffs. You got to deliver. You got to get there, but then you got to deliver on that day.
Yeah, it's crazy to see that. I mean,
actually, like speaking of you brought up the fits.
Yeah. The
fit checks. That's something we got to talk about.
Yeah. The walk-ins.
The walk-ins, because we've never had that in our sport, right?
No.
Where people care, and I was watching it from the outside, and half of me was like, all right, doing too much. I'm just watching the player. What are you choosing to do? Like, you're dressing up as a cowboy in Texas. Is that the equivalent of someone wearing a hula skirt when they come to Hawaii? Because that wouldn't go over that well. What do cowboys think about this?
That's fair.
Miles went all in.
A lot of guys
like a cowboy in Dallas, and also
Partain. You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, he looked great.
He did not.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What's the story behind the walk-ins? Do we want to set the record straight?
I want to mention Partain's outfit, though. Can we get back to that?
No, because it looked great.
No, he looked great, but he kept reminding me of the yodeling boy from the YouTube video.
See, every time I see the photo, until you said that, but no.
Right, but I couldn't get it out of my head, and I was just because it's just like a young boy, and he's always the young guy on tour, and then I feel like maybe the plaid shirt was the same. It was, and I was like, he looks like the yodeling boy, and I would love to make a meme of that.
Yeah,
I think it looked good.
All right, maybe he looked fine, but it was just in my head. I had to say it.
Okay, do we set the record straight on where the walk-ins came from?
Sure.
Okay, so
yes,
it was all Sean Cook's idea.
Oh. That's fair to give him credit.
All Sean Cook's idea.
Was it, Jameson?
He said that Lisa stole the idea from him, which Lisa said she did.
Okay.
And Sean's never been credited, so he's gonna hate that I'm crediting him right now.
Well,
he's gonna be very embarrassed.
And it's easy to see because he leaned into it harder than anyone.
That's
so
true.
It was his idea, and Lisa and our team like went through with it even on UCLA week 1. I thought it was dumb.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, this is like just the coordination alone, like getting texted by 16 AVP players.
Also, it gets you guys something more to do.
No, I didn't want to do that. Like,
right, for sure.
16 people texted me.
Like, hey, I'm here.
Where do I go? And then Lisa and everyone else like, okay, where are they coming in? And people are coming in to practice at different times. Right. I was like, dude, this is way too much coordination.
Right.
And then I saw what happened week 1. I was like,
it worked.
This was kind of cool. And then
I
you had
wonder what
more
fans
and more
think
teams
about
like
it.
buy into it. And then James ended up coordinating everything, but we set it to a standard time.
Yeah, or not buy into it.
It was not my idea, and these guys all went full board into it, and I thought it was rad.
Yeah, I think at a certain point in time, like, I mean, us as a team from, like videography and photography like standpoint, we bought into it. We're like let's make this look pretty legit. I mean, you got NBA, NFL do it. It's like, why don't we try it? See what happens.
And I think what's important, or like the most valuable piece, at least for us, like me and Travis are obviously focused on like connecting the fans and the players, right? It gives you more insight into their personalities, right? You see like Trevor, Theo, these guys that they're not going to dress up for you. And then you see like a Miles Evans who literally like put on a child's Halloween outfit. Yep. And then you see a Sean Cook who's like, he's like planning days in advance, like going out to get this clothes. And it just says a lot about their personalities, like people are more like reserved and people who are more out there. The Troy Fields who like love that stuff. Yeah. Leaning into it and being able to showcase their personality. It's just another platform for them to kind of show themselves. Mm-hmm. And then it gives the fans another thing to kind of attach to, like, oh, I can relate to that guy. And now we got more entertainment value, more for people to kind of invest in.
I think there's, at this point in time, I think there's come like a happy medium of like, like we've known Troy forever. Yeah. We've just got to know Sean Cook, but like, I think Troy has come to a point where like he's been able to balance like that entertainment side of him and still be competitive. Yeah. He's at that point.
Is cool.
Sean Cook is at that point.
Right, for sure.
And like, that's where Casey was. Where Troy earlier on in his career was maybe a little too, entertainment.
Yeah, right.
And then, but he's finally, I think, found that happy balance.
It's cool to see people err on too much, but also people err on too little. Yeah. Because when I came out as a youngster, me, I'm like just all in professionalism, like just do everything I can do to maximize me playing well and my team playing well. But over the year, and then I saw like I'm playing against the Casey Patterson, and it always pissed me off because he's dancing and he would get wild cards and like every crowd would be cheering for him and Jake over me and Hayden every time, 100%, almost over every team. I was just like, what this is not dancing class, this is freaking volleyball. But then eventually it's like, well, stop being a hater, like it's working, just learn from it, Yeah. And I know I can't. I mean, I could dance. Listen, if I just took some classes, I can move probably. But that's not my thing, right? So it's about doing it in an authentic way. And that's what I feel like I've gotten a little better at, is just kind of showing. It's more, to me, it's like, just show your personality. Just share it with the audience. Like, acknowledge that they're there instead of what I did from the beginning, which is like, shoo, like, you guys don't exist because I'm trying to focus. Right. And you do need that. But then the other side of it is we're entertainers. The sport doesn't exist without fans. So my point was I was on one side of the spectrum. Troy was on the other, maybe. Like, we'll just use him as an example. Yeah. And then we're both trying to figure out how to meet in between nowadays, which is kind of cool.
And that's what I think and this is kind of just coming to what the league actually, like, allows players to do to a certain degree. Because, like, if it's a regular AVP event, right, when you lose, you're either out of the tournament or you're in the contenders, right? You're off. You're either pissed because you're out of the tournament or you're focusing on the next match, right? So it kind of allows players to, like, you know, it's a season-long thing, right? So, you know, a loss is a loss. You hate losing, but it's not you're out of the tournament or whatever it is. So there is a lot less, I think, stress going into every single match, which allows it. And there's been, like,
that's true,
a lot of, like you talked about, players just expressing who they actually are. And you know where I'm going with this is, like, the one team, like, that, like, really bought into, I guess, their team and their vibe was Therese and Megan Kraft, who, you know, traditionally you don't really know all that much about those two,
right?
But, like,
totally, they're pretty low key.
You know, teamed up with, you know, Cody Caldwell and Sean Cook,
and then they do that right off the bat. They do Cody's, like, I'm just gonna give it to you, Cody, if you're listening.
Yeah.
The whatever it is, holding up a let's just say a cigarette.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Joint, whatever it is. And they just, like, cheersed it together, hit it, and tossed it.
Oh, really?
That's their
You
celebration.
didn't see that? That was their, like, thing, like their team cheers, like their,
like you
their
know,
handshake, because they're
Dallas got the sleeve.
What are they? They were
Brooklyn Blaze.
Brooklyn Blaze.
Is that
So
what
hey, we're the Blaze.
Cody and Phil did, and Ryan
with the real one.
We got that.
got that. But no,
that was theirs.
that was, but, like, just, I mean, you can even speak to this, like, just seeing their transition of, like, I don't know, having more fun with it, you know, and their personalities coming out. They were, like, a character of themselves.
And Megan, like, she's a college player.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's been on tour. She's obviously
four-time national champion. Like,
exactly.
Like, she's an incredible player.
But that's not
know that much
you don't
about
put your persona out there necessarily in college. Like, that's not encouraged.
No.
So to come out and be playing with dudes like Sean and Cody all of a sudden and be like, we're on the same team. Like, what do I do? And just like, well, I'll lean into it. I'm cool with doing this. Like, you know, just having fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool to see.
It was rad to see.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
I'm gonna take my sweatshirt off. I was more doing it just to show everyone my sweatshirt. But now that you acknowledged me, I appreciate it. I can take it off.
Sorry to add in the Austin bake
incident?
session.
I thought that was great. Well, also, like, I wasn't playing all year, right? I was just.
I didn't know that was their.
That was their thing. You didn't see it? Yeah, I
No.
figured a lot of people maybe didn't see it, but when they did their, the teams came out and they were introduced, and then they all came together, and most teams had, like, their thing, whatever, and that was theirs. I thought that was pretty great.
Dude, there's a lot of, like, funny things that have come out of the league that I was not expecting.
Exactly, which is, like, give credit to AVP for being like, I think it was on the table from what I understand, to just, like, we're not ready, so we're not going to run it this year. Versus, like, they're just like, we know we're not fully ready, we didn't have time, but we're going to run it anyway, which typically, I believe in business, means you're probably going to lose money the first year, right? Most businesses do. But they just ran it anyway, and they're like, we're going to learn from mistakes, we're going to figure it out as we go. And, like, look how much we learned, look how much we got to see, and
Yeah,
I thought it was just so valuable.
From my understanding, it was not if they're going to have it this year or not. It's
right.
They were going to have it.
Oh, they were. Yeah.
They were.
Okay, got it.
They were going to have it.
Well, you know more than me.
And I think it was great because it was an opportunity to learn from. I mean, we all acknowledge and ownership knows, like, we ran the league during the most competitive time in professional sports. Talk about like people watching sports.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the attention economy.
the
We're
timing
going
of it.
against
Yeah.
college football on Saturdays.
Right.
You know, NFL football on
Yep.
Sundays. We had the Dodgers. You know, Dodgers playing the Yankees when we were in the Honda Center.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
The Cowboys were playing.
Ownership and everyone knew.
The
like,
Cowboys were playing their home game while we were playing in Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, like, so, like, they understood, like, yeah, we had everything going up against this thing. So I think expectations were realistic, but to just test out or like, you know, pilot this concept and see where it goes.
Yeah.
I think there's so much opportunity
Yeah.
in a lot of different areas.
It's also exciting. Like, I haven't been that excited or had that much, like, faith and, like, oh, this could work. This could be fun. This could be, and fun is actually an important word for me right now, just after, I've been to 3 Olympic quads and failed to qualify for all 3. And this last one was the most stressful. It's like, I'm not a fun guy because, I like to just focus and dial in, but like I need it, or else I need that creativity, the playfulness. And this allows me to not be in marathon mode. Like, save your energy. Don't scream. Like I've had to tell my partners often, just like, hey, it's hot. We're not celebrating. We're not yelling. We're not running around the court. Every ounce of energy, we got to save it. Even if we don't need it to win this match, we're going to need it to get all the way to the finals. Like, that's a huge thing for me, especially if it's hot.
Yeah.
I've told my partners, we do it together. We're saving energy. That's not entertaining. Also, like, this is an endurance sport. You don't want to see me tired in the finals. In my opinion, you want to see me jumping as high as I can, screaming, bouncing balls, and just letting it all out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's nice as an older player who have played not millions of tournaments, but you know what I mean? So much volleyball.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I don't need to play a whole tournament again. Let me just go out there and do my thing, full energy, healthy, and just let it rip. And then look, you just brought Phil Dahlhauser out of retirement. I think fans like that.
In retirement?
Well, it's hard to tell, but I think he's been halfway in retirement for like 4 years.
Yeah.
I know he's been wanting to retire since I came on tour, pretty much. Somewhat. But then you have April Ross, right? Like, if it was grinding through a whole season, I don't think they definitely wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, right? And Theo sounded like he wanted to retire. It sounded like he was like going to.
I mean, Theo turned into one of the most badass players.
Someone who decided to let their personality out towards the end of their career, and whatever the hell, Theo is just so Theo.
Yeah.
That it's great, right? Like, it's such a unique, dry humor. But the fact that he started letting it out towards the end of his career is just so valuable.
Oh, personality-wise,
and I don't
100%. I
don't think he's going to retire now.
Yeah.
Because he's like, why not? The league was dope. Like, I'll stick around for that. I don't have to, like, just kill myself
Theo
every year.
Theo absolutely dominated in the league.
Dude, he housed everyone.
Yeah, it's perfect for him, dude.
I was shocked.
I hate that Theo can quarter squat and get up bigger, like way bigger than me. And I'm like touching the sand and like maxing, like, and he's like quarter squat, boom. Like, this is not comparable.
I do have a question for you, because I'm sure a lot of your fans know. Because I was asked this question. Was Trevor and Theo breaking up before they played the Golden Set?
Yeah, that was hilarious. I was like, you guys realize that you still have to play?
Was that fake or is that real, Trey?
No, that was real.
Yeah.
But they knew.
I mean, I knew that too. Please explain to your viewers. Like, because a lot of people were confused.
Yeah.
They just, like, when they partnered up too, I kind of realized, I was like, those two personalities are not going to work. Like, their games.
They've been done since when?
Their games ended up blending literally perfectly.
Yeah.
Especially for Trevor. Like, and I wasn't thinking about that. But, like, Trevor wants to play read defense and like use his feel for the game and not his physicality and like speed or, flexible hips or anything, right?
Sure.
But he wants to play read defense. He doesn't want to like really run like a really intricate system and be timing off the block all the time, which is kind of how I like my defender playing behind me, right?
Right.
And Theo wants to go off the cuff and just read block. And he's huge and can do it really well, especially when you're playing shallow indoor. So it was just like the perfect partnership. And so they played great together. But the personalities, like, dude, like, I think halfway through the season, they probably already knew. It was like, like, they're not hanging out all the time. They're not. And they actually are buddies. But it's just like when you spend that much time with some person, it's just hard. But Theo doesn't like there to be unspoken things, right? Like, if he knows you want to drop him, he's gonna tell everybody. He even told me, he's like, I think Trevor wants to drop me, so why don't you just pick him up? He like called me and told me that. I was like, that's the most Theo thing I've ever heard.
So ridiculous.
You just told me to like try to take your partner, and I was like, dude, I was basically like, I'm emotionally not ready for you guys' drama yet, so you guys keep playing together.
I think it was. I mean, like what happened in the finals, like it was going to overtime against right, and they like
against Taylor,
and then they switched. They had Trevor block, and Theo's the one who got the dig,
right,
and then Theo put it away, and they won. Right? Is that how that ended, or was that a different match?
No, that's how. I mean,
it ended, when
yeah.
you go through 9 weeks of the AVP League, everything kind of blends together.
I remember all of it.
And Theo, I remember saying, he's like, dude, it was so great to just get that dig. Like, it was just the short over that Taylor had been doing over Theo, and he did it, and Theo was right there and like put it away. And then they go off and like Theo instigates like that they're not playing together, and then Trevor like takes it over. Right.
I drop you first. And Theo's like trying to drop him, but then Trevor jumps in and drops him first publicly.
Still have to play, and there's a chance there's a goal. And I'm like, oh wow, these guys really didn't think this through.
I totally forgot that they played before.
So April and Alex have to play this match.
They break up their partnership, throw each other under the bus publicly, and then sit there and be like, okay, now we have to go finish the bronze medal match.
And they win.
And on top of that, like, so they do that.
They've had that energy the whole time, though.
And they
don't take it personally. It's just that's just their dynamic.
But then, like, Trevor and Taylor do an interview, and they both agree to, like, oh, we're going to play first in the golden set. Because Taylor has the upper hand.
Right.
He's going to do that. And then Taylor goes in with their coaches, and they throw a curveball. Because you see Trevor's doing, like, a half lunge squat to, like, warm up.
Right.
Because he thinks they're playing second.
Uh-huh.
And Theo is sitting in the bench.
Right.
Theo's sitting in the corner.
Right. And it's freezing.
And Taylor's like, oh, we're gonna go first.
Actually, we'll go first.
We're gonna go first. I think Trevor's only done like a single squat,
he's just doing his little
one
quarter.
leg.
Yeah.
And Theo's like, all right, let's play.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that would play off into their favor, but
so crazy.
I was
that
like,
was a classic. That partnership, man.
So much stuff happened so quick. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah,
that was a good time.
Well, I mean, I know we talk about the league quite a bit, but
wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
Jameson, see the switch behind you?
Yeah, this one.
Hit on. Oh, I didn't have the SANDCAST light on this whole time. I'm sorry, YouTube watchers. And it's a night cast too. Anyway, sorry. I just thought that was appropriate.
Okay, so I have questions for both of you.
Okay.
So you're teamed up with a female team.
Okay.
You said you would, hey, I'd want to pick their brain about this.
Yeah.
Pick their brain about that.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll give me 2 or 3
a
players.
Team or 2 players? Let's say 2 players.
2 players.
You get to make your own team.
2 players. Like for 2, whatever skills it may be.
Okay. And I'm blocking this
2
year.
2 female players.
Am I split blocking this season?
It's no reflection of who their partner is or who you want to be teamed up with. It's like, hey, I'd want to pick this player's brain about this certain skill.
Am I split blocking this season, defending?
Are you asking me or are you asking internally yourself?
Well, both. But no, I'm just saying because
I don't know. You can
if I'm playing defense
from the back line.
If I'm playing defense behind a big block, now I'm gonna hit up some of these defenders.
Oh, that's a good point.
But,
I'm just gonna put it out there.
Right.
I'm gonna consider myself a defender.
Yeah, let's be honest. I haven't seen you block in a while, but it's not getting better by the day.
It's not getting better any better.
Yeah. You're gonna go one person.
I got both of mine.
Okay, go. You go first.
One though.
Okay, my first is Betsy.
For what?
For serving and defense. She's just so efficient and just efficiency. Yeah. I'm going float serve, and efficiency. I need that.
Have you ever?
Because if I float serve, I'm being more efficient than Mr. Freaking Rip jump serves every time.
I would.
But also, if I'm playing defense and splitting, I feel like she just puts herself in good positions, which is what I want.
What makes her float serve so early?
I don't know. That's what I want to know.
Have you ever tried to pass it?
We've done it.
You figured it out?
Current partner,
no, I tried to pass.
Ryan Wilcox has played against her.
No, I practiced against them.
Jameson,
you practiced against them. Okay, yeah.
No, I trained against them in Dallas.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and she was bringing gas with it.
Dude, her float serve is impossible.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I want it.
I know.
If I could just have a float serve that aces people, why would I be fucking
ripping
jump serves? God damn it. My freaking wrist hits the freaking corkscrew every time.
I think it's a John Mayer thing.
I know. I need to go to Mayer. Well,
I mean, I would gladly go to Betsy.
I already tried to ask Betsy in the weight room, and she was very vague with me.
She's like,
she kind of like thought I was half joking.
The whole pin on the bottom of the ball, just do that.
Yeah, no, that doesn't. That's not it.
She's like, okay, does a trick every time.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Of course, she's not gonna tell you.
You just hit the W on the Wilson. That's it.
That's a good point.
All right, okay. That's my first person.
I'd probably just go Kristen and like defensive strategy.
Yeah.
Maybe not like so much technique, just like defensive strategies, because like there's so many situations. Like I'm very fond of like the strategy of like. There's happened so many times, and it's not just with Kristen, but a lot of female defenders with like cut shots. They're not trying to dig it; they're digging it to set their partner. Like over on two. Like Kristen does it to set Taryn.
Yeah.
And Betsy does it to set Julia.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, how do you create situations like that where, you know, you put yourself in the best position to make plays like that?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know what I can't tell with Kristen? I've gone back and forth. I'm like, is she way more talented than other people or way less talented and just a better volleyball player? Because she covers so much ground, and they talk about like she has the fastest first step ever. Well, I'm like, well, then that's like a physical gift that she has. But at the same time, we're like, she's physically disabled by being the shortest player ever. And I'm like, wait, which is it? Is she more talented than everyone or less?
I think
like if I learned defense from her, it'd be like, well, you can't play defense like her because she's too fast, and she's so like balanced all the time, and she can just make a move and just be balanced no matter where she's at. Whereas like us big guys are always like leaning and like, oh, we gotta shift our weight around.
You just answer your question. Then she is the most talented person, because you cannot, like, a lot of people think you cannot make it in the sport if you don't jump this high or you're not this.
But
tall.
Is her size an advantage or disadvantage? Because she's faster than everyone. She can get to way more.
There's a lot of 6 foot, 5'11".
I'm not going to try to say that it's an advantage.
There's not a lot of people her height, 5'6", who are playing on the AVP.
Right.
But like what makes her so great is because she doesn't have that. Like, what I would pick from Kristen Nuss is her off the net cut shot.
Yes.
From the right side or even the left side.
Yes.
You couldn't even do that consistently standing on the ground.
The timing of it, too.
It's crazy.
Her timing.
It's like she's falling a little bit.
She can fall if she wants, but she can hit on the way up if she wants to.
Dude, you could not hit it like 9 out of 10 times better than her, even standing on the ground.
I have another really dumb argument.
Okay. Wait. Who's your second person?
Wait, let me finish.
Okay. I want to hear this.
Kristen.
This
is dumb.
This is okay.
Ready?
I love. Okay.
I want to hear
Kristen has an advantage attacking over everyone as well.
Okay. Let's hear this.
Because when I jump and I go up, I'm looking up into the sky. I can't see the defense or the block in my peripherals. Whereas she's against a Brandy or someone, and the defenders are right here in her vision. They're down low. So she can see them. Whereas I'm up here and I'm way above it. I can't see anyone in my peripherals. Therefore, worse vision. You don't know where they are. You're guessing. She just sees everyone. I see you all the time. It's a stupid argument because then like I could just jump lower and have that.
You could just bend your knees a little bit more.
So I'm thinking next season I just don't jump.
Yeah. Well, you saw how Taylor played when he played with shoes on.
That could be part of like having good vision though.
Well, I think
better vision. Smaller players have better vision.
That's one thing like Nick Lucena talked about at one point was what makes some players better than others. Like one thing Taylor does a very good job of, we saw in the semifinals of Chicago, of like they contact the ball at different points on their jump.
Oh yeah.
Like Taylor has the ability to go up and hit at the highest point.
Yeah.
Or he'll wait and then shoot it. Like a lot of us are like coming in, or not a lot of us.
Because he's short, he can see.
Like I would come in like jump my highest, hit my highest.
Right.
But a lot of these guys like they'll jump up, wait, and then roll.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Kristen does a very good job of that.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
no, she's nasty.
It's
pound for pound best player in the world potentially.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. Second player, is it on me?
Yeah, it's a you.
I like Brandy. Me and Brandy have had some blocking conversations, and it's just very intriguing. We like picking each other's brains, and like, cause we kind of have a similar style. She actually gets all the way down, touches the sand. I'm not gonna say that I am a male equivalent, that's for sure, but I've had some good conversations, and I love that. Like people who get it, which, to be honest, there's not that many blockers who think of it the same way. Not to say it's better or worse or anything, but just the way that I think of it. And I've had some fun conversations with her. So that would be fun if she was on my team.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely not the male equivalent to Brandy, but I know what you're talking about. There's blockers who are intentional with their hands.
Right.
You know, and can work.
Even footwork too, though.
And work independently of their body and like can kind of hang and swat. Like I think newest up and coming blocker who can actually do that is James Shaw. But then there's the other blockers.
He's
who
sneaky
are
big, by the way. I didn't
he's
walk
like
by
6'8".
him. I forget how big you are, dude.
Dude, he's a guy who can he can time and hang and
for
wait
sure.
and swat back.
Yeah, you hit your baby line a little too low. Some of these guys will throw it in your face.
But I know what you mean. Like she's one. I think Tony's actually kind of gotten into that realm of footwork and being able to move her hands a little bit
She's
more.
very physical. Yeah. Tony's.
Coming from someone who hasn't had any like professional experience on the beach side, it's funny when we did a lot of the interviews. One of the most like key things that like I found super interesting with what a lot of other like girl blockers admire, like with other girl blockers, not like how far big moves they make. It's the timing of which they make their blocks.
Yeah.
Like. 100%. I think it's something that I've never really thought about. Like obviously, indoor you're kind of just in system. You just kind of take some space.
I hate indoor blocking.
And it's just like you do what you do. But like, with beach at least, like it was pretty cool for me to like at least see, like I don't know who it was, but someone was talking about, Brandy's timing. Like it's not how big she is, it's about how good she is on timing whether it's a shot or a hit. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. I thought that was actually kind of interesting.
And there's something to it, and I didn't even know, because I never did it on purpose, but so many people that hit against blockers who get really low really hate hitting against us, like blockers that get really low and out of your line of vision, because you think you have everything. You kind of want to gauge of like, okay, I know you're over here. I don't know what you're going to do, but I know you're here. Yeah. But like when you drop out of their line of vision, which Brandy does, and then she's the most explosive blocker on tour, it's like, oh God, where's she going to pop up? Yeah. Right? It's just like, she could be all the way in my sharp angle, delaying for my cut shot, and she could be waiting to swat my high line. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's completely, I can't relate to that, because I had no vision when I was playing.
Well, you were one of those blockers, though.
I know, but I had no vision when
I was
I just
hitting. Acknowledge?
I'd be like, I'm just going to swing as hard as I can.
Maddie was one of the gnarliest blockers out there. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to say it, but like,
I've seen videos. I was like, oh, that was pretty impressive.
You were a sick blocker.
Pretty impressive.
And you jumped like very high.
Because he has short arms, He
has short arms and
small hands.
And that face. Something about his face.
It's
just a little off.
Yeah, something weird about it. But Madison, who do you hate hitting against the most?
Taylor.
Crab.
Taylor, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna dive angle, low angle. Don't hit low angle.
I mean, like I grew up playing with it. Like my range is like this. Like I can't hit true line. I'm not even left-handed.
Right.
So Taylor just like still just standing like my seam, and wait till the very last second. Yeah. You're like, where are you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just gonna hit as hard as I can.
Also, there's a temptation when there's a small blocker, like the small defender's up. You're like, oh, easy. Let's fucking Yahtzee it on him. And then if you're a small blocker, just dive angle every time.
Yeah.
Low, just seal it well. You're probably gonna block 50% of the time. And I think Taylor does that. I saw him get a line block too, though. Like
against Paul.
Against Paul, he left his line hand. Like that's the thing you underestimate. Like Taylor's a great volleyball player. Yeah. Yes, he's gonna do it smaller when he goes to block. I even had Wilcox going to the net. I was like, "You're Hawaiian style, bro. Like
you can figure them out.
Yeah, what are you doing, bro? You just go block. You know how to block. You're gonna be lower, but like everyone's not hitting OT.
It's a good point.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
But there are some defenders who just don't really know how to block. Riley.
Well, yeah.
Riley got the job done, but
there's blockers who don't know how to block.
Well, Trevor, look at Trevor's hands.
There's blockers.
Trevor gets the job done. Is the ugliest, worst blocker ever.
I can't believe he was
somehow he gets
blocker.
the job done. Anyways, he has an amazing read on the game, so he can swat.
Have you told people what Trevor was like as a blocker in club volleyball growing up?
I think he was scared to block. It was the weirdest thing. He would be like...
No, he wasn't scared. I mean...
It looked like he was scared.
He would block like this.
We had like, what, 5...
And just to get back in transition so he could hit.
5'9" Dave Shoji call him out one practice. Like, Trevor, what are you doing? And he like trying to show him how to block. Like Dave Shoji's like 65 and like 5'9" and trying to show him how to block. And Trevor's there in warm-ups like doing windmill dunks on the basketball hoop. But then he goes and blocks just like... half-ass and just like
he
bunny ear it. He's just like,
but he would bust his ass off
and he set me
high ball
no he wanted to run an X every time because he wanted to run an X too, so he just wanted to bounce a ball. And Eric showed you, I'm not setting you that, Trevor.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it is interesting though, seeing everyone's like well, they're all like have a physical gifts, right? And then like what they make of it.
Yeah.
Is the interesting part.
I mean, Trevor's made the most of it.
Who's your second person? Did you pick?
Well, I was gonna go Betsy.
I mean, Betsy's
well, you
serve
can't.
Yeah.
No, but nothing skill based. It would be. I really love her ability to just be an assassin. Kind of just her intensity.
I really love her. I was gonna cut you off there.
No,
like she's married, bro.
No, her.
It's funny because he's trying to hire you as an editor.
Right? Yeah. Go ahead. You don't want to edit that?
Yeah.
You might want to edit this, bro.
My rate is double.
You might want to edit.
Just
this.
like her intensity on the court. It's like I really love it. Every single time like I've been on her court filming or anything like that, it's like the one of very few times where you actually like feel the intensity. She gets like gnarly, and it's pretty cool, and it's like
focused too.
She's like she gets a kill. She's gnarly, super intense. Makes a mistake or something goes past her. She's like reset. Doesn't matter.
Well, she was a college coach too.
Right.
Like, I mean, she is.
She's a pro. Oh, she's still coaching.
She's still coaching.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I thought she stopped to be a mom and play. Like she's momming, playing, and coaching.
I think so.
Amazing.
I mean, that's a gnarly coaching staff.
But like her and Mayer were like, creating the whole LMU system together at one point. If they're not still doing it, I don't know.
The way that they go about beach and coaching, and I was talking to John Mayer about how they assess. They have a system.
Dude, listen to Mayer. Mayer had a podcast here, and I was just sitting here just like, wow, this
about like the 3 different aspects of playing.
Sure.
Or maybe
my memory. Anyway, I'm like a goldfish.
I'm impressed what Jameson said. Like, yes, we did media day with the AVP this past year. Betsy's name came up as one of the people you do not talk shit to.
Yeah,
and I was like,
you don't.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that.
Yeah,
Mom.
And now, like, you kind of watch that. You're like, I've seen it a few times, and she's like, yep. Now I see it. I would not want to say anything.
Oh yeah, no, I believe it.
It fires her up.
Speaking of media day, I haven't been there in a while. It's just I had to bring it up.
So this happened since like I don't know how long this podcast is going, but whatever.
All of our fans get to hear Trevor talk shit about it.
It happened in 2023. We did media day 2 years ago, and like it was just Jameson and I, because Riley was still gone, and like we were just like. We had too.
You were tired, dude. You were like, gassed by the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
You're like, dude, let's just like, because I'm over your house sometimes anyway.
And so we're like, dude, let's just schedule it for another day. And that's when we were doing like team relationships.
Oh yeah,
that was coming off the breakup.
That was coming off.
So Trevor gets his interview. Kames gets his interview.
Theo and like
Theo, dude, and I'm like, can I get a rebuttal?
I like totally forgot to get Try there. So try brought it up this time. She's like, bro, when am I gonna get to say my piece?
And the only reason, because I just watched randomly. I was watching the AVP League down in my gym, and I see a commercial come on. And it's about partnerships and relationships, and you guys cut clips from the old interviews. Yeah. I was like, am And I'm everything's kind of referring. It's kind of like
hold on. That was not us who made that.
Because someone
that was our original work and was
right.
cut up.
Exactly. Okay. And then it's clearly alluding to our partnership. Like Mark Sherman's like asking me like, what are you guys going to do next? You can't break this up. Just like clearly, if you know volleyball, you know what they're talking about. I'm just like, how am I still part of this conversation and I haven't gotten to say my piece yet?
2023 is when they broke up. We didn't interview him. Didn't come up in any of those YouTube videos.
No.
2024 we scheduled 2 days and there was
I didn't make the cut.
There was a makeup day, and I like totally forgot about.
I feel like I always get. It's like we can get Tri eventually because he's kind of close and he's always here anyway. We'll just get him.
We get him at some point in time.
It's fine. We got to get the other people who aren't here all the time.
Yeah.
So Tri brought that up.
So I'm gonna get like I'm just gonna be all over media day next year, guys.
Yeah. Tri's gonna get.
When am I gonna say my piece?
I need my rebuttal.
We'll have 2 sessions.
So now the fans can hold you guys accountable next year.
Gotcha.
I mean,
didn't you see my media day in college when we went to the Final Four?
Oh, no. What did you do? What did you say?
I did the intros on ESPN for our whole team, and then I falsely said what my degree was because I didn't know what the acronyms were. Like I was in PPD. But I never really took the time to figure out what that meant. So on ESPN, I was like, what did I say? I said political planning and development or something. And it was policy planning and development.
PPD.
I was like, I don't even know what policy means, man.
My gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Public policy and development.
I was like, public politics and development.
The ESPN people were just like, yo, do we want to check that? They're like, nah, you
is that a degree?
Probably is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's funny.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm gonna get my time.
We'll get you.
Granted, I have like my own like media podcast studio in my house, so the fans probably don't need to hear from me anymore.
Dude, we can just set up 2 cameras right here, and we'll just film you right here.
Yeah, you guys can rent studio time. It's gonna cost you a bottle of wine.
We'll just let you watch all of what Trevor said and be like, all right.
Yeah, that's actually good.
This is my rebuttal
reaction video.
Oh, smart. And we won't give Trevor any media.
Just put me and Trevor in the same interview.
We'll just have you sitting right across from each other.
No.
It's funny because
you got to do that with Theo. Theo won't hold back.
Oh, I was
pretty
scared.
Good. Actually, no. You should put. I should invite Trevor onto the podcast, and then don't tell him, and invite Chase, and then just start filming as they walk in. What do you think?
I think you should try it.
I wonder where they're at.
Yeah, I think
that's a great idea.
That would be a terrible podcast.
You miss 100% of the
shots. It would be pretty quiet.
Take.
They'd both be so quiet.
It sounds.
But
like
if Theo was there,
and then you put
there,
and then you put
I'm
Theo.
watching Vince McMahon's docuseries. This sounds like a WWE skit.
Yes.
And then like Jess walks in.
Oh god.
And then they start like yelling at Trevor. Like,
ooh, if Jess got involved,
things are definitely like
things are mellow now.
Yeah.
Things are fine. That was just in the moment.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
That's what fans want to see. We want to see. Let it out. Let it out there. It's not
crazy.
like it was a real fight. Like. If it was a real fight, Trevor wouldn't have like fallen with his arms out and then just like look to the ref and as he's falling, just look to the ref like, "You're gonna call that? That's the point."
Well, what I think,
and he didn't even acknowledge Chase. Like if it was a real fight, like he just would have been falsed right there.
Dude,
it was like a
what I
proper shove.
What's funny was that like that was a shove. That was
it was a proper shove.
That was frustration. That was pure anger.
Right.
That was kind of gnarly.
If Trevor had reacted and like, I'm going to reciprocate, then it would have been a proper fight.
But I had, but I
crazy.
had, there were so many old school guys that are like, dude, was that staged? Was that real?
Yeah.
Is that whatever? Like,
you're like, no, but
like,
maybe we should.
Day, I was like, I've seen most of the archival footage.
Right.
These are things like, I've never seen someone shove someone. I've never seen contact.
Right. I've heard of a punch in
the face in the players' tent.
Yeah.
But never on
in front of
television.
the fans, right?
Yeah. I've heard punches in the players' tent. I've never seen
that.
So
now what, old school guys?
Yeah.
You guys are supposed to be more. We're supposed to be softer. Now we're.
I was like,
Now we're the harder generation.
Yeah.
So
It's fair.
Well, shoot, man.
I mean, it was kind of a funny. I mean, like if you look at this whole year, oh my gosh, this whole year has seemed like 3 years from Olympic qualification to heritage events to the league. For how this all kind of like wrapped up, I mean, storylines, highs, lows for so many different players and everything. Like, we're chasing them started, Gina and them started, right. April and Alex, you and Kane, like, holy shit. So much
shit happened.
Seriously.
This past year.
That was a long year.
That was a long year, and this is very entertaining.
But I'm glad you're entertained. It was a slow burn for me.
I know, dude. I like, hey, there's highs, there's lows.
For sure.
There's lows. But just even thinking about it, I'm like, dude, that was 3 years packed into one.
No, I agree. It seemed like those things happened last year. Like, and I keep thinking back, like, wow, last year. I'm like, wait, that was still this year.
Yeah.
Granted, I took a mid-season vacation to Tahiti because I needed to, and then I didn't play in the league, so yeah, it was wild ride. Good times though.
Yeah.
Good work by you.
Baby.
Good work by you guys. I thought personally, I could say you guys brought a lot of value to the tour, and that's what we needed. I've heard good feedback from fans, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we got to do this podcast and not talk
you guys finally getting the third amigo is what turned it around.
He's been with us for 2.5 years.
Well, he needed
like this year to turn it around for us. But no, I'll give him a lot of credit. He's come a long way.
Your investment's paying off.
He's come a long way.
And now SANDCAST can steal it.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
For making little Jameson.
Yeah.
No, it's been fun.
It's either me or a dog.
Doug?
Dog.
Oh. Yeah, I was like, I'm not even.
We never heard about Doug. Cut that. Weren't supposed to know about Doug, the fourth brother.
Thanks for
yeah, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate it. A little winecast is always nice. See, we don't even need Travis.
Yeah,
we're fine. That was okay, right, people?
Yeah,
I feel like fans are nervous. Everyone's asking me like, "What are you guys gonna do with SANDCAST with Travis?" I was like, I mean, I can still record episodes, guys. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't really listen. I mean, I would if I
haven't. I haven't done many.
I haven't listened to SANDCAST, so I don't know what you guys usually talk about. So
right.
I was like,
it depends on the guest.
Yeah.
Just
this is fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Solid.
I actually
episode.
enjoyed myself. That was fun talking.
Dude, honestly, I mean, if we can cut this now, that would be great.
Let's just cut it.
Yeah.
We gotta send it out with a little shoots.
SANDCAST you later.
Shoots.
Bye.